Hello, folks. I'm Ed Overstreet. I'm running the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel, and today I've been imaging this activity on the sun. We've got some sunspot activity, and some of the surface filament is kind of swirling around the sunspots. So I've been doing a time lapse. I hope to get 400 images in to put in the time lapse movie. So let's head over to, let me share my screen, and let me head over to the sun. There we go. Uh, this is this is the area of the sky that I'm real interested in. I put the crosshairs there. I need to move the mount over just a bit. And so there we go. I'm using this sunspot to center. I'm going to add about 5 steps to my focusing tube. As it heats up outside, the telescope is being affected, and I'm having to add about 5 steps, or I have to move my focuser out about 5 steps about every 15 or 20 minutes until it reaches some kind of a thermal equilibrium, and then I can stop fooling with it. The seeing is okay, not great. You can see the sounds. The sun is bouncing around, and trust me, the mount's not moving, and the sun's not moving other than its rotation. It's the atmosphere between my telescope and the sun that's creating that waviness, and nothing can be done other than using good software like AutoStacker to stack them, and IMPPG to add the wavelets, do a little sharpening and align, and PIPP to create a GIF file. And in between, using PixInsight to convert to RGB and color it. Other than that, let's see, we're going to need to move over to the right just a bit. In deck, which is north. We're moving north. It doesn't have to be that precise, but I am sitting here babysitting the mount because it's not polar aligned, and it helps to stack and align when I'm able to center as good as I can. This lightly colored part of the sun is where you're going to see some swirling and some movement. And then also up here we have another spot, and so it's pretty cool. Yesterday I was hoping I could image because there were prominences all along the rim that were huge, and they were very active, but the clouds would not allow it. In fact, I'm going to stop right now the imaging for a second and I'm going to raise the gain up to about 220, and and the exposure up to about 20. And you can see some of the effects really of the solar flares and ejections that are going on right now. But yesterday these were huge. I was following them on NASA solar site, and I was dying to get out and image them, but the clouds were just crazy and not accommodating. So let's go back to 8 milliseconds, and let's go back to 80. Where were we? 120. Yep. Okay, and let's restart our capture session. I'm using SharpCap, and I'm taking 800 frames. My goal is to have 400. I already have 242. I'm looking down here. So I have about 160 to go. So let's just put 175. Let's put 200 because I'm going to get rid of some of them. And when I blink through them, and let's get started. So I'm capturing at 103 frames per second. 800 frames, I'm done. While it's pausing, I'm going to move the mount in declination over just a little bit, and we're capturing again, so I'll hold off nudging the mount. And need to move it there we go, a little west, a little more west, and there we go. I think I'm gonna add another 5 steps, and yeah, that helped a little. So we're live we're live imaging a sunspot on it's October the 26th, and there are also, besides this spot, there's several others that have developed. Don't confuse this with a sunspot. It's dirt on the either the chromosphere or on the camera sensor. Dust on the refractor won't cause that. And I am using a excuse me, I'm using a this solar scope that's on the bottom. It's the AT65 EDQ. I have a moonlight focuser, and that's how I'm focusing this remotely. And then the next section is occupied by the Daystar manufactured Quark, Q-U-A-R-K chromosphere. And then I have an ASI 174 mono camera. And that's what's doing the damage. Okay, let's move our telescope in declination south. Well, I'm capturing. I'll hold off then. And now we got to go back north because I went too far. I got a ton of backlash on this Celestron mount. Okay, now we got to go back. It's hard to get started moving, but once you get it started, you can't hardly stop it. It's much easier to move it in. There's not a lot of deck in RA, but there's a lot in not a lot of backlash in RA, but there's a lot of it in declination. Okay. Well, I wanted to let you see what was cooking, and I'm thinking that I'm going to do a tutorial on how I take these 400 images, blink through them in PixInsight, and then run them through AutoStackert, and I've got to take a flat frame in a few minutes when all this stops, and then in AutoStackert I'll apply the flat frame to get rid of the dirt, the smudges, and these things that are, here's one over here, here's one here, and we'll clean it up nicely, as well as the vignetting. Okay, let's move it over to the south again. It doesn't have to be exact, I just try to keep it within a few degrees of the center. And then once I've run it through AutoStacker, I go into activityi, and I use that to apply some wavelets with some sharpening. Then I go into PixInsight and I convert to an RGB image, and I apply color, and I crop, and I'll crop out this area right here, so that I'm really just focusing on this part of the sun and this part of the sun. Then I'll bring it back into IMPPG, and I'll run an alignment and align all the images. And then from there I will put them into a program called PIPP, and I'll use that to create a GIF file. I'll probably also create an AVI file. If it turns out to be decent, I'll put it on the AstraBin, my AstraBin website, and about the only way I can put a video up is to make a GIF file. And with that being said, I'm going to turn you guys loose. I'm having a hard time talking. I need to end this, and you guys have a great rest of the day. Say something good about somebody, and I know they're going to feel better, and you'll make their day, and you're going to feel better too. Catch you later. Clear skies.